Hello everyone, and welcome back to our video series. I'm Grace and this is Ella, and this week we're going to be talking about the application process for the Rainy Day Fund program.
The Rainy Day Fund program provides emergency financial payments for those looking for funds for rent, utilities, groceries, or transportation. We understand that those suffering from life-threatening illnesses also face detrimental financial issues.
This program helps those in need of financial assistance. Your social worker can apply on your behalf on a monthly basis. Please pause to read. This document outlines the guidelines for the Rainy Day Fund and what is considered for an approved application. To start the application, please contact our program services in order to obtain a login and password for our online application portal. Once that is completed, you will receive an email that looks like this.
Once logged in, you'll see the following screen and press Start a new application. The first section of the application will pop up. This is your family information. Include your patient's name and last name, date of birth, age, and gender. They must be a Canadian citizen to be eligible for funding. Your patient can self-identify as either First Nations, Métis, or Inuit. Then you must include their full mailing address as well as their municipal region or district. Then you provide sources of monthly income for your patient.
The next part of the application process is the diagnosis section. Include the diagnosis of your patient and the date they were diagnosed, as well as their most up-to-date treatment date. Your patient must be in active treatment to be considered eligible for funding. Be sure to include your physician's name as well as your medical facility address. Then we move on to the next part of the application, titled Request for Funding. Here is where you outline the funding your client is requesting. Your patient can request for funding for transportation expenses, which include parking costs and transportation to and from medical centers. Transportation costs must be a minimum of $100 to be considered. Your patient can also request funding for overdue rents and utilities that are 30 days overdue, as well as a $100 grocery gift card. The fourth section of the application includes further expenses that are not normally covered. Please note that we do not assist with cable or internet payments, mortgage, credit card payments, auto or home insurance, or medical-related expenses, such as medical supplies or supplements. Additionally, if you would like to support our organization, you can consent to having your photo and/or story shared for others to see. However, it is not mandatory and you can always opt out.
The fifth part of the application process is documentation. Here, social workers can upload supporting documents for their patients if they are applying for transportation, utilities, or rent. For rent, please provide a letter or statement from the patient's landlord stating how much they are in arrears by and when it is due. For utilities, please provide a copy of their full bill, which includes the outstanding or overdue amount. For rent and utilities, they must be 30 days overdue to be eligible. For transportation, please remember to provide receipts, and they must total a minimum of $100. We are able to accept receipts in the current year. Social workers, hospital personnel, and anyone who is applying must provide a brief narrative support letter regarding their patient's situation and needs. This must be provided with every application, even if it is just a grocery card request. The document types that are supported by our program is Word, PNG, JPEG, or PDF. To upload a document, select a file from your computer by pressing the File button. Fill out a description of the file's content, then hit Click to upload.
The final section is the Submit section. Here, please indicate the application consideration period and then click Submit Application. In the event that we ask you to update your application with specific supporting documents, please go back to your original application that you submitted for the month. Under the Documentation section of the application process, select the file that we are asking you to upload, then hit Click to Upload. Please note that you do not need to hit Submit Application again, as once you've uploaded the document, it will be updated on our end. Once you've submitted your application, your screen should look like this.
If your patients would like to apply for the next funding period, you can duplicate, apply again. This will duplicate all your patients' applications in a new application for the next month. Please make sure to upload the supporting documents needed as they do not get duplicated. You will also need to change the date of the application consideration period for the month that you are now applying for. Once you are done, hit Submit Application. Our funding period closes on the 15th of every month. Unless that date falls on the weekend, then the Friday prior will be the deadline. For example, if the 15th is on a Saturday, then the Friday the 14th will be the deadline.
Near that date, your social worker or the person who filled out your application will be notified of the final status of the application. Social workers will receive an email with an approval or declined message. In the event that social workers do not receive an email, please log onto the portal and you will see whether your application was approved or declined. It is the responsibility of the social workers to notify the application status of their patients. If the patient's application has been approved, they will receive a check in the mail for their request. For patients who requested funding for utilities and/or rent, their check will be mailed to them but addressed to the utility company and/or their landlord. It is the patient's responsibility to pay their bills.
If you have any questions about this video or the application process, please contact Program Services.
Thank you for watching. If you have anything you want to see next from us, please comment your ideas down below.